Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an advanced Ashe and Bob concepts guide. Now, bit of a disclaimer before we start this video. I was working on getting a lot of footage together to actually produce a very detailed guide for Ashe and Bob. However, the PTR has gone offline, which means we need to accelerate the production of this video because almost certainly this hero will be live today. That is it's Tuesday, the 13th of November, because PTR is offline. It's a Tuesday, it's an update day, so we're probably going to get Ashe on the live servers. Now, she won't be available in competitive to begin with, as is the case with most new heroes when it comes to Overwatch, but she will be playable in quick play. So, what we're going to do in this video is discuss the strengths, the weaknesses, who should be playing this hero, and how you should be playing the hero. Now, in the background, you can see me playing on the PTR. This is Deathmatch with Ashe. Now, the reason why this is actually quite good, and actually it might work in our favor with the PTR going offline and me not being able to put footage together, because to be honest, guys, just taking footage from other people's streams isn't really the way that you should be producing content, especially if you want to highlight certain things. However, check this out. So, let's go into the strengths and let's go into the weaknesses. So, what is this hero? Well, it's a ranged hit scan hero. It's got medium to long range, kind of damage potential with a ×1 scope. That's the big thing you've got to remember. She's really good for killing Pharah, like really, really good. Now, most heroes that have got hit scan weapons are good for killing Pharah. The difference with this hero is you can track Pharah in the sky and almost most of the time get 2 solid hits into Pharah, which is probably going to be enough to almost kill her. If you get headshots, you're going to kill her. If not, you're going to really push her away. She's very, very strong. For that, now you could say, well, Widow does the same thing. McCree does the same thing. Soldier does the same thing. But this hero's got a lot more going on than just being able to shoot a Pharah. So if you do have a problem with a Pharah and you are a fairly competent hit scan player, so you've got good accuracy, you should probably give this hero a go. Now, she's really good at applying pressure at range to targets. So you can go from short range to long range. Now, a short range capability isn't as good as, say, a McCree, but it's actually decent. You can fire from the hip and sort of spray. You can spray into tanks, especially when they dive on top of you. You can coach gun away, spray into the tanks. You see me use the coach gun there in the video. This gives you a lot of movement potential. If you use the coach gun at the very apex of your jump, so at the very top of your jump, so as you jump and then coach gun, you can fly very high into the air. Of course, you can use the coach gun to just move laterally on the ground as well. So if a Winston comes in, you can coach gun away and then start firing into the Winston, which is super strong. So yeah, the coach gun, let's talk about that. Great for disengages. It gives the chance to react to flankers. So if you get hit with a Genji or a Tracer and they're really close to you, you can coach gun them away. It will do damage to them. It will also push you back and then you can start firing at them. It won't kill them, but it's enough to mess up their aim and give you a chance to try and outplay them. That's the thing here. It isn't like McCree. If McCree gets a flashbang on a Tracer, well, he just fans the hammer and she's dead. And in fact, there's fan the hammer buffs coming on the PTR soon. So McCree's fan the hammer will be even stronger, especially against targets like Doomfist. Yeah, so she's got potential to deal with flankers, but it's not an outright win like it is with a McCree. It is more of a, okay, now we're in a fight, let's see who the best player is, right? There's that skill element to this hero, which is what she's all about. She's a very high skill cap hero. So she's got rapid fire, high damage output at close range, as we just covered, but it's very inaccurate. But as I said earlier, it will hit tanks and it will hit people like, well, I guess D.Va's a tank, Roadhog's a tank. Anybody who's close to you, you can see me kind of using it here, right? So I'm spamming it at close range into an enemy Ashe. Problem is, Ashe is very hard to hit anyway, so it's difficult to land. Although Ashe has got the same sort of silhouette as a Tracer or a Genji, so you can see it's not going to be a complete win. Maybe I should have brought up the scope and gone for the extra damage, because you do more damage when you use the scope. But also, it just takes more skill, right? It's easier to spam, so I kind of played the random roll look there. I was like, okay, I'll just keep firing. Maybe I'll get her. When really I should have took a deep breath, brought up the scope, and tried to land that headshot after coach gunning her away. Now, the other thing with her, she's got a very fast time to kill. You can see in this video, when I land the shots, I am just killing people. That's what this hero is all about. When she lands the shots, she will delete people. It's very similar to McCree. Not really as similar to Soldier 76, because Soldier is kind of forgiving. You can miss a lot of shots with Soldier. Of course, you can go fully auto with Soldier. I think you can do, don't quote me on this, but I think it's 9 shots now before you lose accuracy. I believe it was buffed on the PTR. So you can, Soldier is a little bit more forgiving, but of course he does less damage. Ashe does way more damage if she lands the hits. Now, this obviously gives you a decision to make, right? Do you play Soldier? Do you play Ashe? Do you play McCree? There's a lot of things, and we'll get onto that at the end of the video. The other thing that's really good for this hero is she's got an amazing ultimate. Now, at first, we were a bit skeptical with this ultimate. We're like, well, actually, this doesn't look that good. Right? She just kind of throws out a Torbjorn turret that knocks people in the air, and then the turret stands there and starts firing at people. Now, B.O.B does decent damage. B.O.B's not going to go in there and kill the whole enemy team, but what B.O.B is really great for is setting up those amazing combos with your friendly Reinhardt, for example. So let's just say you're on King's Row. Their enemy Reinhardt's pushing forward. You use B.O.B. B.O.B runs forward, knocks their Reinhardt up in the air, and then your Reinhardt earth shatters under the barrier. That is going to be a super strong combo. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to kill teams. That is so good. And when you compare that to a McCree or Soldier ultimate, well, it's just way better. Like, Soldier's ultimate is terrible because there's too many barriers in the game. McCree's ultimate, well, is terrible. If we were actually going to rank the worst ultimates in the game, probably would be McCree. Anyway, look at that. Beautiful. You land the shots, you get the kills. This hero will reward you for being accurate. Also, another thing she can do, which none of the other hit scan DPS heroes can do, is hold a choke. This is really strong. This is really, really, really strong. So the dynamite component in her kit, it works in two different ways. You can either throw the dynamite and it will just land on the floor, count down and detonate. Now, that's okay. The thing is, it's a big stick of dynamite on the floor, well, like a bundle of dynamite. The enemy team will just move away from that. They're not going to stand there and go, oh, well, I'll let the dynamite blow up on me. The only time it really blows up on people in that scenario is if it's such a massive cluster of a fight that they kind of don't pay attention to it, and then it will hit them. Instead, what you do with dynamite is you throw it towards the enemy team where you know there's a lot of enemy players, or you can do it to solo players, but generally you'd throw it to, you see, like there, I threw the dynamite expecting that person to sort of slowly move up. Then I'd shoot the dynamite and it would detonate. The problem is they rushed forward, so I ignored the dynamite and start shooting them. Anyway, let's go back to the dynamite. What you kind of want to do is what I almost did there. I think I might have actually did it there, I might not, I don't know. But you throw the dynamite and you shoot the dynamite. This is very difficult to do. There is a certain angle you can do it when you're sort of parallel to the ground and you've got your crosshair pointing straight forward. But a lot of the times you're not really in that situation. You're in situations where you are throwing it towards a choke and you need to detonate the dynamite quickly. Now, you don't always have to use your scope to do this. You can throw the dynamite and then left click towards it, and a lot of the time you will hit it. So the big strength of this is when the enemy team are in a choke, you throw it at them and you detonate it, and it's going to hit them for tons of damage. It's going to give you loads of ultimate charge. It's going to burn them, cause damage to them over time, and then, of course, your team can push on them and probably kill them. So it's really, really strong, but it's a very high skill thing to actually pull off. Okay, so let's take a look at the weaknesses now of this hero. So we've gone over the strength, let's go over the weaknesses. Don't take Widow Jewels. Now, the only reason or time you should ever take a Widow Jewel is if, you see, this is like a mess. You see, like I'm firing at that person there, like with hip fire. I should have just, again, took my time, brought up the scope. You've gone for the shots, like I've got the scope now. Do I win? Do I die? What's going on? Coach, come back. No, I tried to spam and I die again. See, so really I should rely more on the scope there at that kind of range instead of defaulting back to hip fire. Anyway, weaknesses. Don't take Widow Jewels unless the enemy Widow is terrible. That's the only thing I can really say there. She will instantly kill you if she gets a headshot. You will not instantly kill her if you get a headshot. So, yeah. And if she body shots you, then shoots you again, you're probably going to die. If she fully charged body shots you, she can just spray at you from across the map with her machine gun, and then you probably will die. So, yeah, try not to take them. The ultimate takes a fairly long time to charge. So this means you don't want to waste the ultimate. Right? He's really good for his knockback, but when he's a turret, he's kind of useless. In any proper team scenario, you're not going to get loads and loads of kills with a turret. It's just annoying, right? When B.O.B runs forward, knocks people up, then he stands there shooting. He's annoying. The enemy team can crowd control him anyway. You can also nano boost B.O.B, which is interesting. Also, a little bit of a pro tip for Zarya players. Bubble the B.O.B when it goes forward, because you will get tons and tons of charge off that, because everybody naturally shoots it, and also it just runs through the enemy team, so it's going to give you loads of charge anyway. So yeah, if you don't land the knockback correctly, you waste the ultimate, and also you really need to work with other members of your team to combo, because B.O.B will not win the fight on its own. You cannot use this ultimate. It's not like a grav where Zarya can throw the grav in and everyone knows, oh, they're all in the grav and they just kill them. It's not like that. This is, it knocks them forward, so you need your team to push forward at the same time. Even simple things like if you've got a Lucio, you're going to use the B.O.B and then you're going to say, Lucio, speed boost, let's go. And the Lucio is going to boost you in, and you're all just going to rush in after the B.O.B, because it's very disruptive when B.O.B knocks people up in the air. So always be aware of that. Long time to charge and a lot of reward if you actually pull it off correctly. You can also kill yourself. Now, the dynamite will kill you, so you have to be really careful with this, especially when you're in close range combat. A lot of the time, I kill myself with the dynamite. Like, I throw it down on the ground, thinking, oh god, there's a tracer on me. I start shooting the tracer, dynamite blows up, the tracer's damaging me, then I die. Yeah, she might die, but also I don't want to die as well, so it's not great. So remember that you can damage yourself with the dynamite. Now, she's often compared to McCree, but as I covered at the start of this video, she's actually a better Soldier 76. McCree, we'll get onto him a bit later on, but yeah, she's kind of just a better soldier right now. If you couple a Mercy, like, and pocket this hero with a Mercy, she's very strong because you've got the damage boost on this weapon. It's just crazy. You're just pumping so much damage out. It is literally insane. Now, she's got no invulnerable escape ability. So if you are heavily focused with a dive, so if a Winston and a Diva or even just a Winston comes at you and you don't have Coach Gun available, you cannot escape and you will probably die. You can do a lot of damage, so it's not like you're really sort of, oh, you're just going to die, you're going to get walked over. You do have a bite or a sting in the tail, but without the Coach Gun available, you probably can't get out of those scenarios. And Coach Gun doesn't throw you back enough to completely disengage. This isn't like Reaper using Wraith form. It isn't like Soldier sprinting away. It's not as good for disengage as that, but it's still a really, really good ability. I mean, it's a really good movement ability. I think I covered this earlier on. If I didn't, I'll quickly cover it again now. But on maps like, I mean, you can see me using it on Blizzard World Deathmatch here, where I'm just sort of jumping around with it. But on maps like Watchpoint Gibraltar, you can get into some really good positions. You can get onto the shuttle really fast. There's just loads of places you can get with this hero, which is just crazy. Like, imagine if McCree could get to those places. I mean, he can get to the shuttle on Gibraltar, but imagine if he could get to them as fast as this hero can. And of course, there are places where this hero can get where McCree just simply cannot. All right, then. So who should play this hero? This is the big one. Well, if you're a McCree Widow or 76 player, you should probably give this hero a go. Be warned, it's a very high skill cap hero. It's a hit scan hero. If you're not used to aiming and aiming accurately, you will get no reward. Now look at me. I've played a lot of Overwatch, a lot of FPS games in my time. I'm not landing all the hits here. You know, I'm not a pro player, but I'm decent at Overwatch. And I'm like still struggling to land hits. It's very satisfying when you get them, but it's not going to be for everybody. There's a very high skill ceiling to this hero, and you're going to have to invest time into this hero to get good with it. It's not like a Brigitte where everybody knows how to play Brig, right? You just sort of walk forward and do Brig things, right? She is better than McCree at long-range engagements. She has a much better ultimate. She can also hold chokes and has great movement, but McCree will deal with Genji and Tracer better. So, if you are getting destroyed with a Genji and Tracer, and even soon to be a Doomfist, because remember, there is this buff coming to McCree on the next PTR, which means he will do straight up more damage with his Fan the Hammer. He should be able to kill a Doomfist if he flashes him and then Fan the Hammers him, which is going to be super strong, whereas Ashe can't deal with that. Doomfist will delete Ashe, Tracer and Genji will give you major problems. Okay, 76 players should really, really consider using her because I think this is just a better Soldier 76. The only thing you don't have is a heal. Everything else, it's just better. Better ultimate, better weapon. The dynamite ability, Coach Gun for getting into nice places. See that? I killed myself with the dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens sometimes. It's quite embarrassing, but you just have to get used to it. All right, let's talk about some final notes on this hero. So remember, she's a very high skill hero. If you can't aim accurately, you're really, really going to suffer. She also relies on combos with her abilities, so you have to hit the dynamite, like I just did there, to be able to make that effective. If you're not going to land the hits, you will not get maximum effect out of the dynamite. Remember, B.O.B is an ultimate which you need to be really careful with. We're watching Team Deathmatch here, and you can kind of throw B.O.B wherever. Everyone's playing Ashe, right? So there's no real barriers or anything to hide behind. So if an Ashe is caught out in the open and B.O.B's shooting, a B.O.B will kill her pretty quickly. But remember, in a team environment, there will be barriers, there will be shields, and all of that good stuff in the way. And that's going to stop B.O.B being very effective when he turns into a turret. That's not to say he won't get kills, because he will. But please, please, please work with members of your team to at least try and coordinate usage of B.O.B, because the best component of B.O.B is the knock-up ability. And I cannot stress how good B.O.B is, right, guys? You've got a major engagement ultimate on a DPS hero. It's like Sombra. It's not as good as EMP. EMP is a better ultimate than B.O.B, don't get me wrong, but it is that level of engagement, right? It's something you can use to engage the enemy as a team, and that is what wins games of Overwatch, right? It's usage of ultimates. It's the teams working together. It's not the individual player popping off and killing everyone, because you can't really do that in Overwatch anyway. Yeah, sure you can in some kind of ways, but you can't just win non-stop. The only time that really happens is if you're playing above your kind of level. So yeah, it doesn't really happen that often. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. If you enjoyed the video, then like the video. Remember, you can subscribe to the channel, click the bell because you will get alerted to when videos go live. There will be more stuff coming out on this hero. I'll be showing you how to use it in various team comps. We may look at some of the ways the pros are using the hero as well. A lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I've been Stylosa, guys. This is Unit Lost, and I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. Toodaloo.